What's up, y'all? All right, I saw that my hair was a little, bogus, so fix it up for y'all a little bit. All right, so, oh yeah, the little dog cage in the picture. I usually cut that out, but that's a little Nino dog cage. Come here, Nino, so y'all can see him. Come here. Here's a little Nino. Say what's up, bro. All right, he ain't being too friendly, but here we go. So today, what I want to talk to y'all about is what are you working for? Seriously, I think this is a huge conversation that we all need to have with ourselves, not with anybody else, but mainly with ourselves. Um, I'm gonna have to talk about like pay wages and stuff like that. Don't lose the focus of exactly what I'm talking about. And as far as pay wages, I'm gonna be talking about most of my audience may be from Chicago, so I'll talk about Illinois pay wage, even though I live in California, and I'll just go off a basis of that. So, what do I mean by what are you working for? What are you working for basically is a conversation that I had to have with myself. I sat down and I just started thinking, what am I working for? I've always known that, and like I told y'all on my last video about changing my life and stuff like that, and even on the conversation of why haven't I bought a car yet? Because I really, really, really care about what I'm working for. And the reason I do is because, so for instance, at my job, I work in management. I have to be there for 9 hours out the day with an hour break, so I work for 8 hours, right? I have to do that for 5 days a week. 8 times 5 is 40. So basically, I work 40 hours a week. Sometimes I work overtime. I can't work under 40 hours a week because I'll be penalized for it. But so I work 40 hours a week. And I can't, those 40 hours a week plus transportation each day, which is 2 hours there, 2 hours back, which is fucking horrible. I'm changing that. So that means 60 hours a week, which is a lot of time. Those 60 hours a week, I cannot get back. And with me not being able to get those 60 hours back, it's important that I decide what I'm working for and where my money is going towards. So I told y'all that my job was supposed to be a position of convenience where I would work here because the money that I make can pay my bills and I can use my savings to invest into my company. And then once my job started becoming an inconvenience where I had to dig into my savings just to live the lifestyle that I'm accustomed to, which I'm being stubborn. I'm not giving up some of the things that I'm accustomed to because I make less, or because I make less than I used to have, or because my savings isn't high as it used to be. My solution for things like that is if you want more, make more, hustle more, do more, but don't fucking lower your standards for something. Don't lower your standards, especially not for no job. Like, come on, man, get out of here. You can do more. I believe in myself more than I believe in the company that I work for. And with me believing in myself more than I believe the company that I work for, shit, I can make more somewhere else. Or I can make more for myself. So with that being said, you really have to think about what you work for. Like, let's take for instance, and this is why I said I'll have to talk about pay wages. I don't make minimum wage. I make a salary, but some people do make minimum wage. So when you sell your time to a company, if you work for a company and they paying you on a salary, I said salary. If they paying you hourly or on a salary, you're still selling your time. If you take your salary and you break it down into 40 hours per week, or you take your salary, you divide it by 52 because it's 52 weeks in a year, and then from that number that you get from the total weeks that you work tells you what you get paid per week. Then you take that number and then you break it down into what you get paid per day by dividing it times 5. Then you take that number and you break it down by what you make per hour by dividing it times 8 hours a day. And that can tell you what you make per hour, even if you're on a salary. Now the benefits of being on a salary is that if I'm on a salary, I get fucking healthcare. If I'm on a salary, I get paid vacation. If I'm on a salary, I get paid sick days and personal days and blah, 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 and XYZ. But versus if you're hourly worker, and I'll do a video about hourly versus salary. If you're an hourly worker, you get paid shit for the time that you're there. And when you're not there, they're not paying you. No matter if you're sick, no matter if you need a day off, no matter what. And hourly, I don't think hourly work has any like, not consistency, but I don't think hourly work has any, like, you're more of a liability to the company than the salary workers. And the reason I say that is because if I don't want to give you any hours, I just don't give you any hours. If you're hourly. But if you're on a salary, then shit, if you don't give me hours, then perfect. You still got to pay me because we agreed to this payment. So with that being said, I'm going to break down Chicago because a lot of my audience may be from Chicago because I'm originally from Chicago. So I have a big base in Chicago. If you want me to do your state, let me know in the comments below. But statewide, Chicago minimum wage, and again, I don't make minimum wage, but minimum wage in Chicago is $8.25. $8.25 in Illinois, specifically an hour. Let's just say you work 40 hours a week. I'm not sure about it, but let's just say. And you can break this down yourself if you want. You can break this down and do the math yourself. I'll just show you the blueprint. Just fill in the numbers where you want to fill that in best. Okay, so at $8.25 times 40 equal, I'm no Houdini, so we'll use this. 8.25 times 40 equals $330. You make $330 per week, right? We'll take $330. We'll multiply that times 2 because it's 2 weeks per pay period usually, and that's obvious. $660. So you make $660 per every 2 weeks, and then we'll do monthly for you.